My lawyers would be proud of me for having this slide up here. There we are. So hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sydney. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Vessl. Since my training in biomedical engineering, I've been passionate about prosthetic innovation, so I co-founded Vessl to dedicate my life to it. Prosthetic clinicians, or prosthetists, tell us that poor socket fit, the fit between an amputee's leg and their prosthetic leg, is the biggest problem in prosthetics today. So for our flagship product, my team of engineers and prosthetic leaders have developed an adaptive solution to empower amputees to lead healthier and more comfortable lives. Everyone's body changes size day by day and year after year, from diet, exercise, weight fluctuations, even the seasons. But these changes are dangerous for folks like Jane here with a leg amputation, because any change in Jane's leg size leads to chafing inside of her rigid socket. And chafing can lead to blisters that get infected, lead to hospitalization, and sometimes even another amputation. Jane's prosthetist makes a static socket by forming layers of plastic or carbon fiber over a custom mold of Jane's leg. When Jane's leg inevitably shrinks throughout the day, she has to stop whatever she's doing, take her leg off, and put a sock on several times throughout the day. When she forgets how many socks to add or when to add them, she has to visit her prosthetist, who spends valuable time that they are not reimbursed for, re-educating Jane on how to manage her socks. This entire situation is frustrating and inconvenient for amputees and prosthetists, leading to inefficiencies in patient care and painful patient outcomes. At Vessl, we developed the Isoform Adaptive Volume Management System, which transforms any socket into one that automatically adapts as Jane's leg shrinks and swells. As Jane walks, our proprietary technology uses shock absorption to pull custom panels in against the leg and maintain a consistent level of pressure throughout the day. So Isoform doesn't rely on flimsy sensors, heavy batteries, or expensive motors, and Jane can rely on the system to work adaptively throughout the day, empowering her to live comfortably. She only needs to visit her prosthetist when she needs a new prosthetic leg, so her prosthetist can spend time making more sockets for more patients. The Isoform system can be added to any socket, keeping the socket fabrication and fitting processes the same. Prosthetists choose the size, shape, and location of custom panels against the leg based on each patient's unique anatomy. And then those panels are connected to Isoform with a cable, and that cable is used with the shock absorption to pull on the panels and maintain a consistent fit of those panels against the leg as the leg is dynamically changing size. We have patented our technology, and we have granted patents in the United States, as well as several PCTs pending. Isoform is also a Class 1 medical device, which means we don't need long-term clinical trials to go to market. It's just based on standard business documentation. Worldwide, a leg is amputated every 30 seconds, making poor socket fit a massive global problem. The global $8 billion market is expected to triple in the next decade, driven by the rising incidence in diabetes, which is the leading cause of leg amputation. We are focused on the United States first, where there are 185,000 new amputations every year. Our serviceable obtainable market is nearly $1 billion annually when accounting for amputees' eligibility for their first prosthesis and the frequency with which they get a new one. Isoform's automatic mechanical adjustments outperform 3 competitor categories. Click Medical's manually adjustable socket relies on constant manual operation, making it largely inaccessible, especially to folks with poor dexterity or sensation loss. Imagine if car airbags were button operated. By the time you know you need to hit the button, it's too late. And that is why automatic adjustment is so important. Traditional sockets are static, they don't adjust at all, and bionic sockets are still too expensive and bulky to even be on the market. Prosthetists tell us that these are not clinically relevant solutions. Isoform improves user comfort, while our design reduces the mental burden associated with fiddling with the socket all day long. And our patent for shock absorption unlocks an additional reimbursement code, increasing revenue for prosthetists. Vessl operates in a business-to-business model with a global plan but beginning in the United States. We sell to prosthetists through our own sales force and through distributors. Our price is based on conversations we've had with prosthetists about their ideal margins, 2022 Medicare data, and Isoform's return on investment. And then prosthetists are reimbursed through existing insurance codes, which means that Vessl does not interact directly with payers. The payment is a one-time fee, but amputees are eligible for a socket replacement on average every 2.3 years, which supports a recurring revenue model. Now, I mentioned that we are reimbursed. A new reimbursement code launched specifically for adjustable sockets earlier last year, and this not only shows the demand for these kinds of devices, but creates a $500 million market segment that Vessl is poised to dominate. To go to market, we will target 4 key sales channels. The Veterans Affairs has a 2% market share and uniquely strong funding model, making them an attractive key account. We've already begun engaging with them through a cooperative research agreement with 6 of their different sites, first virtually to validate our assumptions, and now we're planning to bring Isoform to each of those locations for demonstrations and testing. Hanger is the largest clinic network in the United States, and they have a close relationship with the Veterans Affairs. So as our relationship with the Veterans Affairs strengthens, our adoption into Hanger becomes easier. Together, these large distribution channels give us the resources and foundation to sell to smaller networks and individual clinics, which we'll be doing along the way. We've also begun engaging with Hanger prosthetists who can act as advocates and early adopters of our technology. We will also be generating demand at conferences and trade shows along the way. In prosthetics, large players are using acquisitions as a growth strategy, seeking revenue-generating companies with multiple product offerings. While many of these deals are private, we do know that companies are being acquired earlier and earlier. For example, Into Bones was acquired when generating just $9 million in revenue, while Psionic raised a seed round valued at 30 times their sales. My skills as a biomedical engineer and my co-founder's skills as a clinical anatomist are further complemented by P2 Devgan's successful business exit. Mine and Alexi's academic training have taught us end-user design, research, and prototyping skills as we've both built research projects from the ground up. P2 Devgan has a successful business exit from growing and selling Villano Vascular to Becton Dickinson, so he's able to provide excellent strategic guidance. Our other advisors include Trace Wright, with 2 decades of clinical experience as a prosthetist and the founding prosthetist at Extremity Medical, and Bill Siops, who has 2 decades of experience as a new product developer. A year and a half ago, we graduated from the prestigious TechStars Physical Health Fort Worth program, where we secured a clinical collaborator and began signing letters of intent with prosthetists. We've grown those letters of intent to represent 90 clinics across the United States, showing immense passion for bringing on Isoform and using it with their patients. Most recently, we oversubscribed our pre-seed round, and we're using that to launch our product later this year. We're very grateful to TechStars for continuing to support us through this raise, and to our new investors who share our vision. If you didn't get to invest in our pre-seed round and you are curious about investing in our next round, please come find me after the presentation. I'd love to chat. Thank you so much.